Well, this happened a while. This happened back in, like, I'd say, '92. And I was working for Allied Van Lines here in Ramsey. We were Hoffman at the time, so I stopped off at the bar, trackside in. Now, I never took acid. I only heard myths about it, you know? So this guy came in, and we were shooting pool, you know, knocking back a few after work. You know, we got paid on Friday. So I said, you know, hey, you want to buy any acid? No, that shit doesn't work, you know, I'm not interested. So he's like, you know, walked back out. It was a dude I knew. So he came back in like a half hour later. I was starting to get a little lit. Hey, how much you got? You know, I want to go home with the Sergeant Peppers. I want to, you know, there was always a myth that, you know, you get a trip and listen to Sergeant Peppers. So I was like, well, you know, he's like, oh, you know, about $10 worth. It's like $4. So I looked at it, and I swear to God, it was no bigger than half of this. That's what it was. I get the
tablets?
Yeah, no, 4 like paper.
Yeah.
So I, you know, so I said, yeah, all right, you got over on me for $10, you know, okay. So I swallowed the whole thing. You know? No, now this is where the story gets good. So now, I took it, and I'm like, yeah, nothing's gonna happen, you know. I'm drinking. So my buddy was leaving, my buddy Steve Monroe, and he's got a white van. Hey, Steve, you know, can you drop me off at my friend's house? They lived up in Hillbrook. It's like 2 towns away from me. So we drove, you know, we were over in Ramsey. So we drove, we started driving on the highway, I was down here. I was like, hey, Steve, you ever take acid before? He's like, oh, yeah, all the time I used to. I'm like, yeah, I think I got robbed. He's like, oh, you got some acid? I'm like, no, I just took some. He's like, what? How much did you take? I'm like, well, he told me it was 4 hits. I'm like, I can't feel anything. He's like, holy shit. He's like, oh, man, like, be careful. So, like, you know, everything was still all right. I got to my friend's house, walked in. Now shit was starting to get weird. My buddy's like, hey, we're going to see Jackie the Joke Man tonight. How you doing? You know, I don't think we got an extra ticket. So I'm like, well, I'll scout, you know. So I just sat around. They started putting on the TV. So I told him, you know, my buddy, you know, he knew about acid. My buddy Dave, that lives out in Las Vegas now. So he said, I told him, I'm like, yeah, I took some acid. How much did you take? I'm like, not 4 hits. I don't think it worked. Next thing you know, he had a fucking MTV on. That Soundgarden video came on. Black Hole Sun. And I'm like, oh shit, man, I'm fucked. You know, I swear to God, the television was melting. And then the next video was the Gin Blossom. Now I was fucking freaking out. That bird was like a fucking 100 times that sound in my ear. I was freaking out, man. I was like, holy shit. I tried smoking pot, you know, drinking beer. When the fucking nighttime rolled around, you know, because this is now talking about 7 or 8. When that rolled around, forget it. I was berserk. This was right around the time of OJ. So, like, I'm fucking taking off my clothes and I go fucking out running. And I'm out running, yelling. And I'm like fucking yelling my